everyone, this is Mrs. Hobbs. I am getting ready to read chapter 1 of My Father's Dragon, but before I read it, I wanted to introduce you to one of my kitties. This is Cece, and she often tries to jump up and get in the middle of my videos as I've been making teaching videos, and I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to introduce you to her because chapter 1 in our story features a cat, a striped cat like Cece. So anyway, I just wanted you to see her, and I'm going to go ahead and put her down and we'll get ready to start the chapter. Okay, so we will get ready to start the story. So I'm opening it up. We have My Father's Dragon by Ruth, Stiles, Gannett, illustrated by Ruth Chrisman Gannett. And the dedication says, "For my father." On the contents page, you can see there are 10 chapters in this story. And the first chapter of this story is called My Father Meets the Cat. You got to meet my cat. Now the father in this story gets to meet a cat. So every time I start reading chapters to my class, we always do something called a picture walk first, where we go through, we look at the title, we look at the pictures, and we try to make some predictions about what we think will happen in the story. So I'm going to show you the pictures now, and think about what's in them. Think about the characters, think about the setting, like where they are, what time of day it is, and we'll make some predictions together and we'll see if the predictions come true at the end. So looking at this first picture, what do you see? Who do you see? I see what looks like a child and a striped cat, and then think about where they are and what do you see around them? What do you see in the setting? I see a garbage can with a lid. I see a can that's open on the ground. And I see what looks like a tree, so they're outside somewhere. The next picture is this. Who do you see? I see what looks like the child again. I see that striped cat again, and I see a lady. I'm thinking maybe she might be his mother or his grandmother. And there's one more picture in this chapter. Who do you see? Who are the characters? I see what looks like the child and the cat again. And then what's the setting? Where do you think they might be? What do you see around them? I am seeing a path. I'm seeing what looks like a bench, and I'm seeing trees all around them. So I am thinking that they are maybe walking through a park. So now we'll go ahead and start reading chapter 1, and we'll see what happens with all those characters and places that we just saw. Chapter 1, My Father Meets the Cat. One cold rainy day, when my father was a little boy, he met an old alley cat on his street. The cat was very drippy and uncomfortable, so my father said, "Wouldn't you like to come home with me?" This surprised the cat. She had never met anyone who cared about old alley cats, but she said, "I'd be very much obliged if I could sit by a warm furnace and perhaps have a saucer of milk." "We have a very nice furnace to sit by," said my father, "and I'm sure my mother has an extra saucer of milk." My father and the cat became good friends, but my father's mother was very upset about the cat. She hated cats, particularly ugly old alley cats. "Elmer Elevator," she said to my father, "if you think I'm going to give that cat a saucer of milk, you're very wrong. Once you start feeding stray alley cats, you might as well expect to feed every stray in town, and I am not going to do it." This made my father very sad, and he apologized to the cat because his mother had been so rude. He told the cat to stay away, and that somehow he would bring her a saucer of milk each day. My father fed the cat for 3 weeks, but one day his mother found the cat's saucer in the cellar and she was extremely angry. She whipped my father and threw the cat out the door, but later on my father sneaked out and found the cat. Together, they went for a walk in the park and tried to think of nice things to talk about. My father said, "When I grow up, I'm going to have an airplane. Wouldn't it be wonderful to fly just anywhere you might think of?" "Would you like to fly very, very much?" asked the cat. "I certainly would. I'd do anything if I could fly." "Well," said the cat, "if you'd really like to fly that much, I think I know of a sort of a way you might get to fly while you're still a little boy." "You mean you know where I could get an airplane?" "Well, not exactly an airplane, but something even better. As you can see, I'm an old cat now, but in my younger days, I was quite a traveler. My traveling days are over, but last spring, I took just one more trip and sailed to the island of Tangerina, stopping at the port of Cranberry. Well, it just so happened that I missed the boat, and while waiting for the next, I thought I'd look around a bit. I was particularly interested in a place called Wild Island, which we had passed on our way to Tangerina. Wild Island and Tangerina are joined together by a long string of rocks, but people never go to Wild Island because it's mostly jungle and inhabited by very wild animals. So I decided to go across the rocks and explore it for myself. It certainly is an interesting place, but I saw something there that made me want to weep." So now that we've read chapter 1, I'm going to go back through and confirm what we just learned in this chapter. So the chapter was called My Father Meets the Cat, and we learned that the narrator's father is Elmer Elevator, this little boy, and Elmer met this stray cat. And we learned that Elmer took the stray cat home to his mother. And how does his mother feel about that? We learned that his mother was not very happy that he brought home the stray cat. In fact, she got very angry and got angry at him, threw the cat out. But then what happened? We learned that Elmer was still giving the cat saucers of milk, and he snuck away with the cat, and they went walking in the park, and Elmer and the cat were talking about flying because Elmer really wants to fly an airplane. And what did the cat tell him about flying? The cat told him that she knows a way that he can fly. And she told him all about this place called Wild Island. And so when we read chapter 2, we'll find out if Elmer gets an opportunity to fly and if he gets to go to this place called Wild Island. So I will see you next time.